Stretch panic. Stretch panic.
Hey everyone, welcome to another stream. Yet another surprise stream, sort of, kind of. We're gonna play through Stretch Panic. This is one I did probably 4 or 5 years ago at this point. So figured it was time for another playthrough. You know, I try not to do repeat playthroughs of a lot of games here, but I've been doing this for so long now that it's been a long time since I last covered some of these games. And I fired this up on Twitch a few weeks back. I got, I don't know, about 3/4. Actually, no, I think I made it all the way up to the final boss. And I was like, you know, that would make for a fun, short and sweet YouTube stream. Takes about 1.5 to 2 hours to go through this game, depending on how well you do. There is a gimmick that you have to play by. Otherwise, you have to redo boss fights and whatnot. We'll see how many times that takes us. But yeah, this is mostly like a boss rush kind of game. It's just, you fight bosses and that's about it. There's a couple of small other things you do throughout the course of the game, but they're all tied into, you know, they're tied into your main objective, which is defeating all the bosses. And so I think there might be up to like 12 bosses total. I don't remember the exact count. But yeah, we're going to try to go through this whole thing in one sitting. Unlike my old stream, I will try to time code all the boss fights and stuff like that. So if you want to try to play this game and you want to try to learn it, you can just skip to whatever boss you want and get like a little mini tutorial on it, basically. So this is a really, really fun game. This one flew under the radar for most people. This was released as like a $20 or $30 game when it first came out by Conspiracy Entertainment. They would go on to publish lots of other budget schlock. I don't think Conspiracy was really known for quality, but they started off on a really, really good note with Treasure. Treasure is just, in my opinion, Treasure is like one of the best development studios ever. The guys are really good at what they do. They're smart. They optimize really well. They're very good, technically speaking, but their games are always super creative, filled with charm, filled with personality, and you just don't get games like them by other studios for the most part. So Stretch Panic it falls right in line with typical Treasure stuff. It feels very different from your usual, say, 16-bit era Treasure games. You know, you're not locked to a 2D plane like you are in, say, Gunstar Heroes or Radiant Silvergun, but it still has the signature Treasure creativity and just polish and all that stuff. And it's a fantastic game. Prices on a physical copy, I just checked recently, and they are going up. I think people are finally starting to come around on this game. It is an awesome game. Highly recommend you give it a try sometime. If you don't want to buy a physical one, play it via other means. Do some software emulation or something like that. And speaking of software emulation, this would be a great one for Treasure to bring back on modern consoles with the HD treatment. It's not going to happen, but you know, one can wish. This is definitely one that deserves a little more attention. So But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and try to play through the whole thing. You'll notice that the title screen just constantly loops and loops like this. So, but we can go ahead and hit start, and we've got an options menu which tells you your controls and stuff like that. I'm gonna turn my vibration off, and not much else there. And we're gonna go ahead and start a brand new game, and I'm gonna go ahead and let this story play out because it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Alright, so there we go. That is the main story. Basically what it is, you play as this little girl named Linda, and her whole family gets possessed. I guess she's coming home with, like, presents or something like that, and she gets ran over by this evil van who ends up delivering presents to her house, and those presents apparently are evil. And so now her whole family is possessed, and it's up to you to unpossess them. Yeah, so this is your main hub area here, and I was actually just literally referring to my last playthrough right now, figuring out how to beat one boss. I had totally forgotten about one boss. I was like, oh crap. But yeah, so yeah, this is your hub area. The main gimmick in this game is that you use the right analog stick to move this scarf around. You have full independent control over the scarf, and by pressing L1 you can latch onto things and stretch them, hence the name Stretch Panic. If you jiggle the stick a lot, you'll actually do this like dive bomb attack. You can also you know, jump with it, which is interesting, but you can also just snap, and every time you snap you do a little bit of damage, and pretty much everything in the environment will twist and tug and pull and stretch. It's kind of neat. It's a very interesting engine. Yeah, you can hold down the L1 trigger to strafe left and right, Very good to know. But yeah, you move with the left analog stick, move the scarf with the right analog stick. And I believe this might be... Is that our save functionality? That is the save functionality. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and replace our existing file. But yeah, you're going to spend a lot of the game in this little hub here. And so, okay. Couple gimmicks. We need to earn some points, so we can go to EX stages for that. Points allow you to go into boss doors, so you can actually fight your bosses. However, because all your family members are possessed, you have to exorcise them, and that takes 5 points to do one exorcism. If you do not exorcise the bosses properly, then you have to redo the bosses over again. So if you want to actually legitimately beat the game, like actually get an ending screen and whatnot, you have to exercise your entire family. So yeah, you do that in these EX stages, and this is where things like jumping comes into play. You grab onto a ledge, just like that, and we kind of wiggle it around, and boom, we can propel ourselves upwards like that. Now these platform quote-unquote action levels are not very long. They're not very big. They're not very intricate. The idea is to sort of teach you the mechanics and show off the engine a little bit. Like, there's some really cool lighting effects here, which was actually really nice for 2001. The game also runs at a pretty good frame rate. It usually is around 60. It does slow down sometimes, as, you know, a lot of games did from this era. But overall, it's, you know, like I said, the game's got a lot of charm, but there's also, it's got some technical chops too here and there. It's definitely interesting. All right, so I might actually be able to jump over here by bringing my scarf down like that, and then flinging myself over just like that. So I've got 9 points. So I think I only need 1 point to get into my first boss room, but I need 5 to do my exorcism. And if I fail my exorcism, I'm gonna have to use yet another 5 points. So it would be ideal... Whoa! Okay, I was not expecting that to happen. Nice little trick here is if you're holding on the strafe button, you cannot fall off the ledges. So that actually makes your life a little bit easier. Otherwise, your controls are actually very slippery in this. When you're not locked on, they're slippery anyway. When you're locked on, they're actually nice and tight. So you want to stay locked on with the L1 button. This big blue door right here is actually my exit. So after I get a bunch of points, I want to go ahead and exit. I think that's probably all the enemies. I could try to latch onto that. Is it going to let me? No, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I think I've basically killed everybody. So let's go ahead and exit. And if I wanted to, I can come back and play one of these EX levels again. Alright, let's, so that was one EX level. What I might do is actually just play another one, just to start off with a lot of points, then we can try to go through our first few bosses without having to play any EX stages. So I'll just show off the various EX stages in the beginning. And then I'll go ahead and save it after this. Saving the game, it does save all the points that you currently have. And again, points are like a currency. You have to have them. You have to get them. And Linda can sometimes climb up really tiny ledges like that. Otherwise, you have to use the scarf to propel yourself up. Now, you have to hit these big-boobed women from behind. Their knockers are blocking their weak spot. I really like a lot of the music in this game as well. Like, this is basically the title screen theme, but it is very, very much treasure. It's bouncy, it's energetic, it's kind of happy sounding, but it's also, it still sounds like video game music too, if that makes any sense. It's just really good stuff. Treasure was really good with stuff like that. Rakugaki Showtime on PlayStation was another one. Had a great introduction theme that sounded very much like this. Guardian Heroes had a lot of stuff kind of like this as well. And do I see Seb, Mr. Half-Blind Gamer, out there? Alright, let's, I'm gonna actually latch myself onto this. And fling myself over that way. How are you doing tonight, Seb? Hope you're doing well. How is your CDI Kether playthrough going? I wanted to tune into that, but I ended up becoming busy. That is a game I have never really figured out. I'd like to see someone who actually knows what they're doing on that game. Doing pretty good. How are you? I'm alright. I'm alright. But yeah, this, again, is Stretch Panic. It's by Treasure. Came out in 2001 in North America. I believe it came out in Japan as Hippa Linda. And it came out in Europe, I believe, as Freak Out. So it's another one of those games that has 3 different names based on the region that you're in. But Stretch Panic is what a lot of us know it as, since it did come out stateside. It went really well. You beat it in good time. No way. Did you beat the game in one sitting? I wonder if I can just drop down without taking damage. Okay, I can. By the way, my health bar is at star in the left. How damage works in this game is your star fills up as you take damage, and when it becomes full, you die. And I want to say that's everything again, so I can go ahead and snap my way back over. Let's go this way. Oh, a little too far. Thankfully, you don't die instantly. You just take a little bit of damage. Oh, there's another one. Good. Free points. Now, enemies do have invincibility frames. You have to wait for them to basically stop blinking. Unfortunately, the blinking doesn't look as good as it normally would because I am playing through an upscaler, and you will see some kind of like jagginess and weird lines as it basically tries to deinterlace everything. But this is, I mean, PlayStation 2 in particular, this era was really meant for CRTs. With everything, with most games on the platform being 480i interlaced, basically, where it alternated displaying every other scan line. So you had like this jittery look in a lot of PlayStation 2 games. The Stretch Panic is no different. Like I believe it's a 480i game, and so when you are watching it on a modern display via an upscaler, it doesn't look as good as it does on a CRT. And actually, funny enough, I was playing this a few weeks back on a CRT, and it's just, this PS2 era stuff on CRTs look great, in my opinion. I just love how PS2 looks on the CRT. Alright, so we have 34 points, so we're going to be able to do several exorcisms, assuming I get them right. But we've got this bell here, and I can slam into it by rotating my stick after I've grabbed on. And this will basically take me to a log file that shows me all of the bosses that I have successfully exorcised. And I've exorcised none. So, because I haven't actually played any bosses, but this is how you track your, your stats, your progress throughout the game. Hey, Zanctum, welcome back. Seb says, Kether is very short, honestly. It only has 5 levels. If you really blaze through it, you could probably do it in about an hour. You got lost once, though. No way! Okay, maybe I'll actually try to learn that game. That way, Seb, we can have more than one... there could be more than one YouTube stream of Kether on YouTube. It'll be yours and mine. I don't think anybody streams CDI, right? Okay, so... you can use the L2 to sort of look around and check out your bosses. So You are locked off from certain bosses in the beginning. So we only have, I think, 4 bosses available. What we'll do is we will go with this one first. Siren, I believe. Oh, I agree, Zanktum. Yeah, I actually use my PS2 with component cables on my CRT. Yeah, it looks so nice. The colors just really pop. Alright, so this is the meat of the game right here. What you saw with me gathering points was just so I could do this. And I'm going to have to use an exorcism attack, which involves me clicking in both analog sticks, I think when I'm locked onto an enemy and I've actually got my scarf attached to them. And then more arms come out, and I just twist and pull, and after I've done a certain amount of damage, I get to... let's see. I might be able to do it right now. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I messed it up. Okay, so I'm not supposed to let go. So yeah, I just wasted a lot of points, but I should preface this with, I did not beat this game when I was playing on Twitch, and funny enough, I had completely forgotten about the exorcism attack, because I hadn't played this game in like 5 years. Well, I hadn't played it for more than a couple minutes in 5 years anyway. So yeah, I went and referred to my original playthrough on YouTube, and I was like, oh crap, I have to learn the exorcism attack again. Let's try it again. Now, I think I just hold on, and I just constantly... Yep. Now the little flying demon has popped out. But what I need to do now is grab onto each of these, because when she closes up, all these guys that are inside turn into, like, little Grim Reapers. I should mention, this game actually gets pretty morbid. It's classic Treasure. Treasure's really good with stuff like that. Taking a really cutesy concept and making it look really freakish. I should actually demonstrate what happens. I think I'm going to, actually. Yeah, you put them all in there. And then they'll come out. And it starts to get, like, really freaky. Hey, Samurai, welcome back. Seb says, I thought I owned a Freak Out, but it was the ski game. How confusing. Wow, I had no idea there was a ski game called Freak Out. I love how bonkers this is. It's great. This is what I love about Treasure. I do wonder what the, how much it costs to get, like, a European copy of this game. I do wonder how well it's sold over there, how common it is. In the US, I don't think it sold very well. Copies seem to have been drying up on the secondhand market. But for the longest time, it was one of those PS2 games that people just overlooked. Like, you'd see it in a store, even if it was $5, you'd be like, yeah, I don't care, and you just leave it on the shelf. So for a long time, it was really easy to get, because nobody even, like, really knew what it was. But, I mean, it is Treasure, and, you know, Treasure is, especially among, like, the more hardcore gamers from the era, you know, people that were, like, really, really into playing, and, like, really creative games in particular, like, Treasure has a great reputation among, you know, that audience. And, so I think some people have been trying to check out as many Treasure titles as possible. So actually, if I go back to that bell, since I did successfully exorcise that boss, she should pop up here now. Mr. Zombie says it's probably around 70 pounds or 60 euros. Wow, okay, so it didn't do too well over there either, I guess. Yep, so there she is. And it gives you the boss's name. And it shows you your family member that was possessed by it. Let's go ahead and back out. Seb says, Freak Out Extreme Free Ride is the full name. Okay. Wow. Okay. WD Kane cannot figure out this game for his life. It's not that complicated. You basically have your scarf, you attach it to enemies, and you snap it back, and you do damage. You do damage until things are dead, and then you move on to the next thing that needs to be dead. There is a little more that I'll continue to explain as we play, but it's basically just about taking down all the bosses. If you have the instruction manual, I highly recommend reading it because it does talk about the exorcism attack. You have to exorcise all the bosses. So I just did the exorcism attack, and it looks like I was successful because that little flying demon is out now. And a lot of these bosses have gimmicks. So the gimmick on this guy is he does throw out rockets. You can snap them back, and they will home back into him. You'll do critical hits. Now I am locked on, which, because this guy is so big, it pulls the camera underneath me. And so it's actually kind of hard to see his rockets sometimes, so sometimes you're better off just unlocking. He probably, yep, he just fired a missile, and I missed it. That's fine. There's another one. Ah! I messed up. There you go, you just snap the rocket, it flies right back at him. Yeah, you use R1 to just hold the scarf out. Nice. Oops, I keep running right into that attack. That works too. So again, you lock onto enemies, grab them, rotate the stick around, you'll do that slam attack. It does more damage than just snapping, but sometimes it's just a lot easier to snap. Hey, Dasan, welcome back. Yeah, for anybody stumbling upon this on the archive, if you skipped ahead to gameplay, I definitely recommend going to the beginning and watching the introduction of the game. Because the introduction story, I think the way Treasure did the animation and stuff like that is just really fun and creative. But basically, again, for anyone just joining us, the premise is that your whole family has been possessed by demons, and it is up to you to exorcise them. My character was in the same room as everyone else got possessed, but she did not get possessed. Her scarf did, so that's why your scarf is alive. You have a demon scarf that has the capability of exorcising everyone. It's cute and morbid at the same time, and I love it. Alright, let's do our next boss. I've got 14 points, or 13 points now. Tassan says it looks like Majora's Mask on LSD. I probably should have actually saved it now that I think about it, but that's okay. I've got plenty of points. I think it'll be fine. When I checked out my old stream archive, I did remember you can kind of abuse the save system. If you fail an exorcism attack and then you run out of points, you can just reset the game and just reload your file. There we go. We got it. Now again, bosses have iframes, so when they're still blinking, you can't do any damage. So for me, it's like timing my attacks. You can also grab these yellow balls that bounce around. And every boss allows you to get criticals. Hers is you grab her, the back of her mouth as she's spewing fire out. If you can get it. I don't want to get too close to the fire. Not a big deal. I'll just sit behind her and keep snapping her. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is rapid attacking. Oh, no. That's not good. See, I've already got the save scumming elite Kether strats down. Did you have to abuse saving in Kether to get through it? I'm gonna have to watch your stream on that, Seb. Because I understand, like, the third-person space sections where it's just collecting stars and stuff like that, right? But it's like the first-person exploration sections that always got me. Desan says, I just sat down to watch the new Clerks movie in Prime and saw I was live. Difficult choice, but Austin won. And this one shouldn't even be that long, Desan. A full playthrough of this, if you do well, it's an hour and a half to 2 hours long. So the goal is to knock this out in one sitting. Now, I have not beaten the game since my last stream of it, which was 4 or 5, maybe even 6 years ago at this point. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and save it. Seb says he died in flight, and that just sucks. Probably would have been fine just continuing, but during a stream, wasting lives is risky, so you did one reset. So your lives actually, like, carry over through your save file. Do you get limited continues in that game? So for anybody wondering, Seb and I are talking about Kether on CDI. Interesting looking game that it's a hybrid of different gameplay styles. It's all good, Desan, I understand. Appreciate you popping in, though. So, after this boss, we will definitely have to go back and grind out for more points. Again, using your Exorcism attack uses up 5 points. And the EX stages are... they're not really anything special, but they are kind of cool to look at. And, you know, they do add, like, a nice... Ooh, we're gonna actually have to redo this. Yeah, see, I actually lost my Exorcism attack. He actually interrupted my attack. And so we're gonna have to do that over again. Let's just go ahead and continue. And unfortunately, you only have one save file in this game. But it's not like it's tracking a score or time or anything like that. So it is really just about completion of just the main game, and then that's it. So, but let's try this again. Which one was it? It was this one. You notice that after you beat a boss, you can go back to it again, but it changes from 1 to 0, or however many points to 0. Some doors require 2 or 3 points, maybe even more. So Kether involves having 5 lives, no continues. Every time you go to the hub screen, it saves. Wow, okay. Jeez, only 5 lives, huh? Are you able to earn extra lives by chance? Okay, we got it. I used the sound call out as a indicator that I can probably use my exorcism. If you do a critical hit on a lot of these bosses, they'll stay stunned for a while, and then that's a really good time to use your exorcism. So now you can beat these bosses without exorcising them, but they don't count as being permanently defeated, because your sisters are still possessed, technically. And it's like, now that I've exercised it, this little demon head is trying to bounce in to repossess her, but it can't, because we've exorcised her. And there's a safety barrier now. But you can still technically beat the bosses without exercising them, you just won't actually make progress towards actually completing the game or finishing the game. So I actually I did that on Twitch weeks ago, playing this by myself. It was like a really slow stream night, and I completely forgot about the exorcism attack. So even though I had made it all the way to the final boss using regular techniques, I wasn't actually making any progress. I had completely forgotten about the whole exorcism thing. But yes, that's why it's good to read the instruction manual in this game. Because someone had commented they have no idea what they're doing in this game, and that's probably one of the things some people like that are confused about. Not knowing that you have to do the exorcism attack. Seb says, Kether has no extra lives. The flights are a matter of memorization, and the mazes are okay. As long as you take the baddies as they come, running is suicide. Okay, good to know. You're completely confused and you're listening to me explain it. That's exactly what happened on my last stream of this game. People were like, I don't get it. I'm like, I don't know. You move the scarf around and you attack. It's not rocket science. Avoid the boobies. Yeah, so points are basically a currency in this game. They get you into boss arenas, and then they also allow you to do your exorcism attack. So I click both sticks in. This is the exorcism attack. You have to hold down the your main scarf, but it uses up 5 points. And again, if you want to actually be able to beat the game, you have to be able to do that. So I just demonstrated the exorcism. And for these girls, you have to attack them from behind. I don't know what they're actually called, but I'm sure they have a specific name. Every time I attack them successfully in the back, I get 1 point. That was 4 hits. That was 4 points right there. That's good. Let's see. Let's look down. Okay, so I cannot drop down there. I can drop down there. Okay. Whee! Again, if you're strafing, if you're holding in L1, you can't fall off platforms. So if you think you're going to slip off, just press that L1 button, and then you'll just kind of like lock to the side of it. See? And then you can't get pushed off either. Very handy. God, I wish more like 3D platformers from back in the day would do stuff like that. It explains the 12 plus. Yeah, not gonna lie, there are a couple of bosses in this game that are, like, legitimately, like, creepy. As you guys will see as we progress through the game. Yeah, this EX stage is technically a little bit farther into the game, and so some of these enemies are actually doing attacks now. They're trying to, you know, they're trying to be a little more annoying. Oh, keep attacking the wrong spot. Oh man, I'm not sure why, but I've had the urge to play Eternal Ring again on PS2. I did a full playthrough of that many years ago as well. I think that took us about 6 hours. Good old, you know, older From Software game. Sort of a spin-off of the Kingsfield series, but it's not nearly as cryptic. Cryptic or confusing, so I tend to veer towards it more than the Kingsfield games. But I have a real soft spot for this early time in PS2 gaming history. You know, 2000, 2001, 2002. Stretch Panic was 2001. Seb, so the, whoa, no, that's not good. The listing that you're talking about for £30, or 30 euro, does it have like a photo and stuff like that with it? Does it say whether it's complete, if it's got everything with it? Do they say who the game is made by? So it's not that snowboarding game, hopefully? That would be sad if you paid 30 euros and it ended up being that stupid snowboarding game. Hell, for all I know, that snowboarding game might even be decent, but I'm not sure. Alright, looks like I want to fall down here. Again, L2 lets you look around freely. Alright, I think that's all of them. Gotcha. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a tough one, Seb. I'm not trying to pressure you. But yeah, condition does matter for me. It's like, I don't want a game that's gonna be like, that looks like it was scraped across concrete, you know? That's just not cool. Let's do another EX level. Hey, Gotcha, welcome back. You forgot to turn on notifications? For shame. I actually don't blame you. I don't keep notifications turned on YouTube. I even turned off comments notifications on my phone anyway. Like, I still will see them when I log in on the web browser, but, yeah, the less notifications to my phone, the better. Because then it starts to feel, like, invasive. I need to start turning off, like, message notifications on Instagram and stuff like that, because I've started to get a lot of spam, and it's, like, really frustrating. I always left notifications on for messaging apps because I expect friends to be the ones talking to me. Alright, let's pull all the way back. Okay, I think a little too far. Nope, still too far. I need to launch myself all the way over there. Whee! Nice, got it. Yeah, so you can see how some of these EX stages get a little more tricky. Got it. Awesome. I do kind of wish there was more done with the jumping mechanic, but it works well enough. Up to 35 points. And actually the exit, I think, was right at the very beginning, so I'm gonna have to go my way back. I think that might be all of them. Yeah, nothing down there. Oh, there's a couple more over there. Alright, cool. There we go. That's one. Sweet. There's not a lot of danger in these EX stages. So even though, like, your health bar is still in effect, you don't really have to worry too much here. Oh, that didn't get me anything. Yeah, so you really want to just snap these ones. The body slam thing, it works really well against certain boss fights. Whoa! I'll take that, though. That was like a little shortcut. I think the game knew what I was trying to do. It was like, we know you want to exit. Let's just drop you right in front of it. Alright, let's go ahead and save it, because we have a lot of points here, so... Alright, if I wanted to, I could snap and then propel myself up. Let's do the Mr. Potato Head boss. A lot of just crazy, really creative boss fights in this game. And pretty much every boss is pretty creative. I really enjoy this transformation effect here. It's pretty wild for 2001. All right. Alright, I think we exercised it. So you can actually put the parts back on the boss. And then they freak out. Because they're not put on correctly. Let's see. Where are the other parts? Can't see the parts. I know there's some other parts around here. Oh, there it is. I've got the eyeball. There's one. Alright. There's another. Yeah, someone was actually mentioning this on my last stream of the game, and apparently if you put all the parts back on and they're in the wrong spot, you'll get a critical hit. I wonder if I have to slam it. Yeah, I think what ended up happening is you do that and they go dizzy from it. Like I said, the bosses in this game are just really creative. It's so much fun. Yeah, and then she's sucking all the parts back in. Okay. And then you do the slam attack to knock them all off. That's it. It's crazy. It really does, Seb. I mean, and this was a pretty early PS2 title as well. I mean, this was only like a year to year and a half after the console came out. And yeah, you know, Treasure's using a lot of like simplistic effects to their advantage. Like, there's a lot of stuff in here that's like not even texture mapped. But it's like the visual effects they have layered on top of that. Like in some of these EX stages, it's very basic architecture, but the lighting's really nice, and so it does make it stand out. Even though they are doing, I think, a lot of simplistic things with this. But I'm glad they went that route because it allows for just like a super high frame rate. They were able to do like a lot of different visual effects, and it just looks really cool. It looks very unique. Okay, so just going through these one by one. This is the space boss. This is a very interesting one. Very, very different from the other bosses. Well, that is true too, Seb. There's some stuff that has definitely held up a lot better than others from this same time period. I feel Stretch Panic has held up great. Like, honestly, if it got the HD treatment, I think it would still look pretty fun. You know, pretty nice. But yeah, I don't, you know, it's funny, don't think I ever played Project Eden. I remember the name. I think a lot of people were looking forward to that one. Nice, got the exorcism. So you're on a moon, a lot like Mario Galaxy. Of course, this is well before Mario Galaxy was ever a thing. Oh, there she is. Some moderate damage. Nothing crazy. But yeah, I did my exorcism immediately, so I'm good on that part. So far, we've been doing okay with the exorcisms, which is good. Because again, it's mandatory if you want to actually beat the game. Man, there's a lot of these things. Way more than I remember. And you can use the exorcism attack again. It does crazy damage, but it uses 5 points. So you have to think, well, do I want to grind out for another 5 points on the EX stage? Looks like I got it. And I'm starting to think I don't even have to really attack her specifically. I was just attacking those orbs, and for some reason her health was still going down. So, okay. So I have 42 points. Let's go ahead and save it. I think we might have one more boss fight, and then we'll unlock the next few. Actually, no. I think there's a couple more. Yeah, there's another face guy. Yeah, there's this chick right here too. Let's do that one. This one is tricky. She likes to throw these boulders down at you, and she's always flying in the air. And you have to snap her line as she throws the rocks down, and it makes her vomit. It's pretty funny, actually. And then that's when you want to do your exorcism. All right. And I think that should do it. All right, there she is. Latch on. All right, got it. Honestly, it's kind of easy to get lots of damage when you consider the exorcism. I think that's it. That was a fast boss. That exorcism did, like... it felt like 80% of her health. That was a lot of damage. Alright, time to save it again. Rinse and repeat. I still have 36 points, so I've got a little bit of a buffer in terms of getting into the boss rooms and using my exorcism attacks. These doors are a lot easier to read when you're on a CRT. My old Framemeister does a good job with interlaced content like this, but when you have crazy visual effects like what we just saw in the hub, it doesn't look so good on a HD display. Little difficult to read. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well tonight. Hope you're enjoying this quirky game. Hey, big dogs, welcome back. Okay, got the exorcism. It seems like if you put rocks into it, it might actually slow it down a little bit. So it's actually beneficial. It's a big rock. Yeah, so I already exercised it, so I can just keep snapping away. That's it. Yeah, big dogs. I bought the Resident Evil 4 remake as well. I haven't played it yet because I've still been hooked on Dead Cells. I also picked up Hades because I was hooked on Dead Cells. But yeah, that Resident Evil 4 remake looks great. I picked up the PS5 version. My brother's been playing it for 3 days straight now. And if any of you other people out there have played the new Resident Evil 4 remake, let me know what you think of it. Alright, let's see. Where do we need to go? So we've got... I'm going to assume that's the final boss right there. So let's go back this way. Again, if the doors no longer have numbers on them, then you are good. Yeah, so it looks like we have 3 more. And then I think that is it before the final boss. Alright, this is the creepy one right here. Definitely not one you want your 4-year-olds to experience in a dimly lit, loud room. Alright, so for this, I really need to figure out how to do the exorcism attack. And there's also an instant kill scenario on this, if I remember correctly. But you never actually see the boss on this, this one. So he's constantly moving around. No, it's not what I wanted to do. Alright, we exercised him. Good. Very good. You can see a shadow behind. This is one of those things where you really need to use audio to your advantage. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and do this again. I want to do some massive damage. Okay, instant death. Boom, got him. Critical hit. If you see your character being hung, it might not even be Linda, but if you see the character hung in the stained glass, you have to go to the opposite one, and the boss will be there, and you can get a critical hit. Hey, Chevy, welcome back. Yeah, so Seb, this game, or this boss in particular, is pretty intense. If he busts through any of those doors, I think you die instantly. And then when you see the body hanging in one of the stained glass windows, if you don't turn around and attack the boss in the other one, he'll smash through and you'll also die instantly. So yeah, it can be kind of scary, you know, because I think it's the only boss of the game where you risk instant death. Every other boss, you know, they might do some serious damage, but they don't kill you instantly. So. Okay. That's right, we have to go back around. So this boss is interesting. You have kind of like the Siren boss, where she has like all those little chicks walking around. You have flying guys that are trying to help you out here and attack the boss. They get stuck in the environment. You have to pick them off like the walls and the floor. And the boss, unfortunately, is not solid, so you can't do any damage right away, as far as I remember. You have to wait for them to start shooting at the boss. Then the boss goes solid, then I could use my exorcism attack. Yep, my scarf just goes right through it. Alright, so now I have to pick these guys up off the ground. Alright, I got it. Oh, that didn't last very long. Yeah, that's actually really interesting. She does that ring laser attack along the ground, and you can do your jump attack to go over it. I picked up on that earlier in the fight. Must have got a critical. I guess the amount of lasers that are attacking the boss has an effect on whether you get a critical or not. So that's good to know. This game's got so much charm. Alright, save time again. And so I'm guessing I just have 2 more bosses to go. And again, for anybody kind of just stumbling into the stream, you can access this to see your progress on boss fights. And any boss that you've successfully exorcised will appear here. You get their names and everything like that. So it will tell us, yep, we're missing 2. So we're getting really close to the end of the game now. So all I have to do now is go back to an EX stage, grind out on a few more points, and then we can end the game. We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes so far. Actual gameplay is probably less than that, probably about an hour and 10. I think this... let's see, which one was that? Yeah, I think that rooftop one was actually really valuable, so let's just do that rooftop one again. We were getting, I think, four points for each enemy. Yeah, it's actually nice being able to play a game on here that's not that long. I can do it in one sitting, and still have the rest of my night to myself. I've got some other games planned, but I think they're going to be a little bit longer. So I need to dedicate more time to those. Alright, that's 8 points. Alright. Good jump. Ooh, barely made that one. Now, unfortunately, these points I have, they're not going to last that long, because it takes like 4 or 5 points just to get into the boss doors now. So I might be better off playing a second EX stage after this, just to give myself some wiggle room. Otherwise, if I fail the boss, I have to either quit the game and reload, or go back to an EX stage again. So I might as well just do another EX stage after this. Definitely would not hurt. Alright, good jump. I can't see where I'm going. Alright, that's good enough. Their boobies turn into helicopter blades. Only in Japan. Yeah, it seems like I can actually whip around faster if I disable the lock-on. Alright, 33 points. Let's see, and I think that's all of them. Oops. Okay, I got it that time. Oh, I almost went over. I'm actually starting to wonder, like, I wonder if, like, intentionally jumping is actually faster for traversal than walking? It's Hard to say. Imagine stretch panic speedrunning techniques. Could be interesting. Alright, 33 points. Let's... Man, what do I want to do? Well, let's go ahead and just save it. I think what I'll do is I'll try to fight this next boss, and then we'll just kind of go from there. This next boss, if I remember correctly, gets kind of annoying. He flies a lot. On my last playthrough I did years ago, I just used a bunch of EX attacks on it just to get rid of it quickly. Not sure if I'll really need to do that, but I don't know, we'll see. But I need to get at least one off, otherwise I won't successfully beat the boss. Cool, got it, just in time. Alright, we have to run from this. I do remember that. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Oh, I got lucky. I think it's going to try to jump back up out of the sand. All right, run. And again. Yeah, you definitely run a little bit faster when you're not locked on. So you really just want to turn around. Turn around and run. Oop. And because the lock-on, the way it pulls the camera down below you on bosses that are higher than you, you can't see the missiles it fires, so that's a little tough. It's okay. I think we're pretty much guaranteed to win this. Yep, more missiles. I guess that's it. Nice. Alright, I might actually be able to just go straight to the final boss without having to play another EX stage. Thanks for the GG, Zanctum. I do appreciate it. Requires 6 points for this this last boss here. Alright, let's give it a try. Oops, if I can get up these stairs. Linda's controls are really slippery if you're not using the lock-on. Yeah, that's it. 6 points to get in. So I can technically use my exorcism attack 3 times. I might even just try to use it right away. But this final boss has these 2 hands that are constantly floating around. That's the weak point. But the playfield is actually littered with lots of different objects, like turrets that will shoot at you, these spike balls that will hurt you. That did not work. That did not work either. Yeah, I think I have to wait for the weak point. Get the critical and then do it. But I got some good damage off right away, which is nice. Ooh, missile. Uh-oh, not good. Oh, and again. I'm still trying to figure out how to do my exorcism on this boss, because the first 2 attempts definitely did not work. And I haven't gotten a critical yet. I guess that's it. Yeah, so when she says, "Come to me," and both hands are trying to come after you, I guess that's when you want to use your exorcism. That was a lucky guess at the end. But it looks like we just beat the game. Gotcha asks, have I played any of the Kingsfield games? I have. I have not gotten very far into any of them. Let's go ahead and save it. And now, I think we can go ahead and exit. I'm guessing all those English names are from the conspiracy entertainment side. Yeah, that lines up in the instruction manual. Very cool. Yeah, that's Stretch Panic. I know that seemed quite short by PS2 standards, but trust me, when you first play this, if you don't read the instruction manual and you don't know to exercise the bosses, plus the fact that some of the later bosses do get pretty tough, actually, you know, you're not going to beat it in an hour or two on your first try, unless you go in with some of these tips that I kind of showed off, like the exorcisms and whatnot. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that playthrough. Nice short one today. Well, by my normal stream standards anyways, nice and short. Still longer than my usual dedicated videos, but yeah, I've been wanting to play this one again on stream for a while, show it off, because it is a really cool game that not a lot of people have really put a lot of time into. So I always like demonstrating games like these that are unique and they kind of flew under the radar for most. You know, there's the old hidden gemmed phrase you could, or label you could apply to a game like this, but I don't usually call games hidden gems anymore, but that's kind of like been done into the ground. But it is definitely something that not a lot of people have put a lot of time into, so when I get the opportunity to show it off, I'm always happy to. It's a really fun game. I'm glad I still have my copy of it, and yeah, maybe in another 5 years we'll do another playthrough of this. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Everyone have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. And, yeah, have yourselves a good one. Finally got my patron slides updated, by the way. Only took me a month and a half. But yeah, they're updated. So... Oh man, okay, I'm gonna sign off. Archive of this should be up sometime either later tonight or sometime tomorrow, and I'll try to be back with another live stream next week, probably at the earliest. Don't think I'm posting a dedicated video this week. I did post one for patrons, or channel backers over the weekend, so go check that out. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, take care, Seb. You have a good night as well. See ya, Gotcham. See ya, Zanctum. Chevy, Big Dogs, Psychazu. I think chat did get a little quiet there in the second half of the playthrough. But still, this will be here for the archives. Everyone will be able to watch it down the road. Not that this is a particularly popular game. I was looking up some other live streams earlier today, and none of them have, like, any viewership. So not many people are really looking up this game, but, you know, if I get an opportunity to show it off, I'm happy to do so. You know, spread the good word of Treasure's goodness. But alrighty, guys. Oh, wait, actually... we finally have a Patchy sighting. She just finally came in. She keeps looking at the cracked door, thinking Milo's gonna run in here, but he's actually right behind her. He's been behind me the whole night. Alrighty, guys, that's gonna do it for me. Have yourselves a great night, and I'll catch you all later.